Hello, friends. My name is Emily Parkinson, and I am a Superstar Director out of Cincinnati, Ohio. And I have these red marks on my neck that happen when I get nervous, and they're not going to go anywhere. So just ignore those. So my topic is build yourself. And basically, that is all about framing your mindset and building the resilience to be able to navigate the highs and lows of your personal life, dealing with them, dealing with those highs and lows in your personal life and not letting it affect your business, and also dealing and navigating with the highs and lows that come in your business, because that's just reality. They're going to come for all of us. And then helping you to lead your team during those times, because it can be hard. It definitely can be hard. So this is actually kind of a perfect topic for me. I am a growth junkie. I love anything to do with personal development. I love listening to podcasts, and I meditate, which I used to think was silly, but it's actually amazing. I have like a morning routine that has helped me tremendously. So we'll get into all that later. I'm jumping a little ahead. I'm going to tell you guys about my story. And I'm probably going to dive a little bit deeper into my story than I would normally, because it directly correlates with the topic. I've had some recent experiences in my life and in my business that I feel like would help you guys to hear about. So, I don't remember if I introduced myself, so we're going to do it again. My name is Emily Parkinson. I am a Superstar Director out of Cincinnati, Ohio. I probably already said that, but it's okay. I'm a little nervous. And so basically what got me into Cincy was since I've been an adult, I've always worked in restaurants. It was a server or a bartender, and that worked for us for a while because I didn't really need to get childcare. I would just work on the days that my husband was off of work. But then it started getting to the point where I was like missing things because I'd have to work on the weekends and stuff. So I thought getting like a big girl job was going to solve everything. Long story short, didn't end up working out. We have 4 kids, and they were small, very small. And when you have 4 kids in daycare, you are constantly getting called. This one threw up. This one has a fever. They can't come back for 24 hours. And then the other kid gets it. And it was just really hard for my husband and I. And I think the pivotal point, because I was a skeptic. I used to be someone who thought all direct sales were a scam. I'm not a salesperson. They're all a scam. They're like icky. I couldn't stand it. I would literally ignore people. Actually, in fact, my sponsor, I ignored her for 2 years when she would randomly send me messages telling me she'd think I'd be good for this. So that was my opinion on it. But the pivotal point for me, I think, that started like softening my heart to it was I had to take my newborn baby, who is my youngest and my last baby, to daycare when he was just 6 weeks old. And that shook me. Like, that was the hardest thing I have ever done in my entire life. I've never had to do that. My husband always watched our kids whenever I would work before. So it was very, very hard for me. So without even noticing it, it was like subconsciously, I started paying attention to my sponsor's Facebook posts. And she was drawing me in. She's very good with like marketing and like posting her lifestyle, not being salesy, but making Cincy her lifestyle. And it didn't seem fake to me, and it drew me in. And before I know it, she made a post about sending out opportunity packets, and I asked for one. I got one, decided to do it. So I joined, I had my launch party. I was so scared for my launch party that I literally was telling my friends that they didn't have to buy anything, just come. Because I had an in-person launch party. And I just was like, I was so afraid of looking stupid. So I was telling them, like, you don't even have to buy anything, just come so I don't look dumb. Well, I didn't think I was going to get any sales. And I ended up having a $1,200 launch party. So I was, sorry, I'm going to take a drink of my iced coffee. I was certified with my launch. I had just this instant success. It was like a whirlwind. After my launch, I dove in and I just like took off. And might I add too, 3 weeks after I joined, I lost my big girl job. I don't know. That's a whole different story. But yes, basically I lost my big girl job. So I freaked out. I was crying. I didn't know what I was going to do. I believed in Scentsy after my launch. I truly did believe in Scentsy, but I knew it wasn't going to happen overnight. So I talked to my sponsor, and basically she told me to put my big girl panties on, and it's do or die. We got to do this. So I did. She talked me into going to California for Scentsy family reunion, which was crazy because, mind you, when she talked me into going, I had been a consultant for like she had already been talking to me about it before I lost my job. So I was like 2 weeks in, and she was trying to talk me in to go to California. I've never even flew before. And she was trying to get me to go to California. Somehow I talked my husband into it. I don't even know how. And I went. It was life-changing. These events, guys, World Tour and SFR are literally life-changing. They change your business if you let it. If you go into it with an open mind and you go into it with the mindset that this is going to change my business, it will change your business. So that's what I did. I went there. Oh my gosh, California was by far my favorite reunion I've been to, which I've only been to one other one because we went virtual after that. I went to Austin, but it was just amazing. And I went there when I left SFR in California. I said, I am going to be a director in September, which I don't know why I picked September, but that was it. Which was only 4 months after I joined. September was only 4 months after I had officially become a consultant. And then I also said when I left that I was going to earn the top 100 trip, which that year it was to go to New Zealand, Switzerland, or Marco Island. So I come home and I'm busting my butt, and I hit director September 23rd, 2018, 4.5 months after I joined, and I ended up earning top 100 of that trip. And I took my husband and I to Switzerland, which was amazing because we never got to go on a honeymoon. So 5 years after we got married, we finally got our honeymoon. But yes, so I did all that. I hit superstar director in 18 months. It was just like crazy. It was a whirlwind, and I was on this high, and I felt like I was just like made for this. And the reason why I'm telling you all this is not to brag even a little bit. The reason why I'm telling you this is because after I hit superstar director, I had a very hard time in my personal life. I hit superstar director on Halloween 2019, and 2 days later, my uncle unexpectedly died, and it was a very, very hard time. He was in the hospital when I hit superstar director, so like we kind of knew it was coming, but he was only 54 when he died, so it was very unexpected. And I feel like that event kind of led to a very big dip in my business. So I hit all that super fast. I was like on a high. Then that happened. I kind of like, was in a bad state of mind. And then Corona happened. So it was just a hard time in the world and my personal life and all that. And then I started to feel a dip in my business. I started to not have that instant success that I had been experiencing, which I know everybody's journey is different. Some people, they take longer to build that success and they have a rock solid foundation when they finally do get to their goal of director, superstar director, and all that. Mine happened so fast that I didn't feel like I had that foundation. I didn't feel like I knew what I was doing. Like I felt like I had just become a consultant, and here I am supposed to be these people's leader. So, comparison, self-doubt, all that got into my mind. The world was crazy, and I truly started experiencing, we had hyper growth. Don't get me wrong. We had hyper growth, and our business was doing so well that I wasn't necessarily feeling the dip yet. But I was having a dip in my personal business. My personal business was having a dip, even though my group was thriving, if that makes any sense. And in November of 2020, so about a year after I hit superstar director, is when I hit my lowest point. I had other factors going on in my personal life, and the world was so crazy that I'm like an empath. I can feel the atmosphere in the world. And I literally shut down. I laid in bed and I would not get out of bed. I refused to, like, I would do the bare minimum. I would make sure my kids were alive and fed and get them to school. But like, when I say fed, I'm talking like they ate cereal for dinner more times than I can count during that time of my life. It was really bad. I've never experienced a depression that bad in my life. And Scentsy had a little bit to do with it because I felt like I was failing, and I felt like I felt like I was a fluke. Like all that success I had was a fluke, and that it wasn't real, and that I could never have it again. This is going to make me emotional. I'm trying not to cry. But so yeah, I experienced this, depression. For a month solid, I did not even log on to Facebook, which is crazy when you own a business, number one. And number two, when you're a superstar director. I did not even log on to Facebook. My sponsor was calling me and I wouldn't answer. And she texted me and she said, if you do not answer the phone, I'm sending the police to your house. Like, that's how bad it got. And I'm being very vulnerable with you guys and telling you guys about this because I had to claw my way out of there. I had to claw my way out of that spot in my life. And I don't want to get too religious on you, because I know not everybody shares the same views, and that's okay. That's completely okay. But God is the only thing that got me out. I started really reading my Bible and making myself do it every single day. And I slowly, very slowly got my way out of it. Excuse me. And so first thing I did, I don't even know where I got this from. I can't even tell you where I got this from. But I started listening to podcasts and stuff. And on one of the podcasts that I listened to, it talked about making an energy tracker, like an energy log. So I made a note in my phone and I made a log of everything that took energy or drained me of energy and everything that gave me energy. So for example, some things that gave me energy was I literally wrote down cleaning to hood music. And when I say hood music, we know like the 2000s, the good music from back in the day. So that gave me energy. Decluttering gave me energy. What took energy from me was binge watching Netflix, aimlessly scrolling on my phone, things like that. So and it's so weird how obviously I know these things, it's kind of common sense. I know these things give me energy and these things take my energy. But for some reason, writing it down and having that log as a note in my phone, it truly helped me. Sorry, I just burped a little. This side note, I'm a very real person. I am not somebody who sugarcoats things. So you may get a little burp here and there. I'm going to try not to say any bad words. Just throwing that out there. But, so yeah, it's so crazy how just having that log, even though it's common sense, it really, really helped me. Another thing that really helped me was you got to know how motivation is not a constant thing. Nobody is ever going to be constantly motivated. So you have to learn to do the things that inspire the motivation. Action is what leads to motivation. The motivation doesn't come first. You don't get motivated sitting on the couch. You have to start moving first. And then that's when you do one thing, then it motivates you to do the next thing and then the next thing and so on. So when I knew that before my super bad depression, when I was on a routine, especially a morning routine, and I was doing the same thing every day, I knew that I was working better when I was doing that. So I started my morning routine. Some examples of how my morning routine goes is I wake up an hour before the kids get up, which would be 5 o'clock. I have to wake up. And it sounds super early. And I know some people aren't a morning person, but it is my favorite thing is waking up and having a quiet house so that I can be in a better mood for my kids. And I'm not tired and grumpy and groggy and yelling at my children. Sorry, I'm getting parched again. So just try it out for a week and see how you like it. There's actually a whole book about it, which I read and which helped me. It's called Miracle Morning. I highly suggest it. I thought I had it sitting by me, but I don't. But look up Miracle Morning, and that book honestly changed my life. It's how I started doing my morning routine. So wake up, I make a cup of coffee, and I meditate. I've not really been able to go longer than 10 minutes. I get antsy and I start thinking about other things. When you're meditating, you're supposed to clear your thoughts. So I've only been able to get up to 10 minutes, but sitting quietly and meditating and concentrating on your breathing, I cannot even, like, one thing that a lot of successful people have in common is, number one, a morning routine, and number two, meditation. And it sounds silly, and I used to think it was silly, but I'm telling you, try it. There is a million different guided meditations on YouTube. That's what I use. I just look up whatever I want that day. So meditation for manifestation, meditation for positive energy. There's just a million out there. So that's how I start, is my meditation. And then after that, I read my Bible and I do like a little Bible study. Some days are longer than others. Some days I do a full out crazy Bible study. And some days I just read a little devotional in my Bible app and just pray. I pray every day. I try to pray at least in the morning and at night. That helped me. If you're a religious person, that helped me tremendously. And then after that, I do have this next to me, my Start Today journal, which is from Rachel Hollis. This is my third one of these that I've used. And basically it just has, this is backwards, so that's not going to help. List 5 things that you are grateful for today. So for example, I put a healthy family, God's grace. I even put getting my roots done. That was something that I was thankful for. So you list 5 things that you're grateful for, and then you put 10 dreams that you made happen. So there are 10 things that are your big, scary dreams. Like one of mine was buying a new car. I wanted a new, either Suburban or a Yukon. And you write them down as if they have already happened, like you're speaking it into existence. So I do this every day. And this has helped tremendously also. Highly recommend. If you don't want to spend $20 on this notebook, you literally can just use an empty notebook. You do not have to get the special one. Use an empty notebook and do 5 things you're grateful for and 10 dreams that you made happen. Okay, so meditation, Bible study, and then my Start Today journal, and then exercise. And I'm not going to lie to you guys, the exercise one is the one that I let go the most. That's the one that gets put on the back burner the most. And I can't even explain why. I feel great when I do. I had a 4-month span where I was solid on my Peloton and I was doing good and I loved it and I was more energetic, and then it just fell off. But that is one of my steps that we won't go into that. So, and then something that I do if I feel very sluggish and I'm not wanting to do anything, or if I'm in my feelings or feeling depressed that day, one thing that for sure will get me out of that mindset is listening to either a podcast or a Scentsy training. And yes, I am a Superstar director and I still to this day listen to Scentsy trainings. Me personally, my favorite is Miss Chloe Cox. She is, I just identify with her the most. I feel like we have similar personalities and I love her no nonsense, tough love. So I still to this day watch her trainings, and I'm almost 4 years in. May will be 4 years. So YouTube has a plethora of inspirational videos. A few people that I like to watch if I'm wanting to do more of a mindset or a personal growth type of video is Ed Mylett is a good one. Ed Mylett, Mylett. Rachel Hollis is pretty good. Who else? Tom Bilyeu. I think it's Bilyeu. I think that's how you spell it. Who else do I like? Sunny Lenarduzzi. She's good for marketing. Gary Vee. He's very good. He cusses a lot. If you don't like that, don't listen to him. But he is a marketing and social media genius. Those type of people. So I know that if I'm not feeling like doing anything, if I just want to lay down and watch Netflix all day, which is easy to do when you work from home, I will turn that on turn on a Scentsy training or some type of YouTube video, a podcast. Oh, Jessie Lee, the People's Mentor. That's a very good podcast to listen to also. I know that if I turn one of those on and listen to just one, I will get motivated. I know I will. So that's what I mean when I say taking action to get motivated. Motivation is not going to come every day. It's just not. You're going to have days where you're super motivated on your own, just out of nowhere. And then you're going to have a lot of days where you just don't feel like doing anything. And it has been a proven fact that motivation is not what builds successful businesses. Consistency is what builds successful businesses. So if you need to figure out what you can do, if you know that you should be doing something in your business, or even if it's not in Scentsy, if you know that you should be cleaning your bathroom or working on your weight loss goals or anything in your life, you need to find those things that you know will give you the motivation when you're not motivated. You need to have the discipline and the self-awareness to be able to be like, okay, I'm feeling like a turd today. So, and I don't want to do anything. I really am wanting to just crawl right there in my bed and watch Netflix. So instead, I'm going to listen to this podcast real quick and see how I feel after that. And I bet you 9 times out of 10, if you watch something that's a personal development or a Scentsy training, it is going to motivate you to move your butt. It works for me. I hope it works for you. If it's not one of them, play around, toy around, find something that you know. Another thing that helps me get motivated to do anything, clean, work my business, anything, is when I exercise. And I know I just said that literally is the thing that usually gets, if there's something that I'm going to give up doing for the day, it's always exercise, and it's terrible. But I do know that when I ride my Peloton bike, or if I do an exercise video, a 15, 20-minute exercise video, I am motivated to do more. I moved my body, and it is like catapulted my brain like, all right, let's do this. What are we doing today? I'm sorry. I'm looking over this paper to make sure I've done all the topics that I want to. So yeah, I think that I've covered everything. I hope I have. I hope this has been helpful for you. Know that it is 100% normal for you to experience dips and lows in your business. Sorry, I talk and then I get parched and then I cough. It would be weird if you didn't experience dips and lows in your business. It is 100% normal, and it doesn't matter what happened in the past. That's something that I had to really smack into my head, is because I felt like I had let my team down. I felt like I had let my group down when I had that really bad depression where I fell off, and I felt like there was no way to build it back. And I still haven't built it all the way back yet. I'm sure there's some teamies who probably resent me for, going down that road of where I wasn't really speaking to anybody. And I don't really blame them. I wasn't being a good leader. But it doesn't matter. It does matter. I don't want to say their feelings don't matter, but the past does not matter. What you do from this point forward is what matters. That's all that matters. Make a change, make a decision that you are going to at least work. Nobody's going to be perfect. Nobody's going to be a perfect leader or a perfect mom or a perfect anybody. Being perfect is boring. But make the decision that you are going to catch yourself when you're having negative thoughts. When you start thinking those negative thoughts like, I suck at this, or I'm being a bad mom, or whatever it may be, stop your thoughts in their tracks and tell yourself, do affirmations. Affirmations is another thing that I do a lot that really helps me. Tell yourself how bad you are. Tell yourself that you are a bad mamma jamma. Because you are capable of doing anything that you put your mind to. And your past does not define you. Your dips do not define you. Your failure does not define you. Failures build character. Failure is a normal part of life and a normal part of your business. And those things teach you more than success. Your failures teach you far more than your successes do. Be grateful for your failures so that they teach you what not to do in the future, and they build you into a better human and into a better business owner, into a better leader, into a better mother, into a better friend, all that. Do not let yourself get to the point where you are so far deep in depression that you literally don't know how to get out. Reach out to a friend. Have them hype you up. You need to have a circle of people where you can reach out to them and tell them like, hey, I feel myself about to go down this road, and have them build you up. You need a circle of friends that tell you that the sun shines out of your butt, because it does. I feel like this is going to be a very unique training, but it's okay. But yeah, I think that's all. I hope this was beneficial for you guys. I hope that I didn't ramble and I made sense. And remember that you are capable of anything that you put your mind to, as long as you get control of your thoughts. Let them negative thoughts in and push them back out. Replace them with positive thoughts, positive thinking, and know that if you fall back, or if you have a couple days, weeks, whatever, of like an off time, you can always come back. It's never too late, and you are amazing. Did I end it?